All right, let's get right into it. Annual reports can be pretty dry, but sometimes, buried inside, there's a really fascinating story. And that's what we've got here. It's the story of a tech company that's looking at a once-in-a-generation opportunity and just going for it. So we're going to decode Aurionpro's strategy, their incredible growth, and their big bet on the AI revolution.
This quote from the company's leadership really is the perfect place to kick things off. This isn't just some fancy corporate talk. It's literally their entire game plan in a nutshell. They see AI coming in, and instead of being scared of the disruption, they see it as this massive wave they can ride to completely reset the old rules of enterprise tech.
And that really brings us to the big picture, the why behind everything they're doing. What is this huge shift they're talking about? Well, it all boils down to the incredible, transformative power of artificial intelligence. Look, for decades, a few big giants have pretty much owned the enterprise software world. But Aurionpro's belief is that AI is the great equalizer. They call it a tsunami that's washing away all the old advantages. We're not just talking about adding a little AI chatbot to an old product. No, this is about building completely new, intelligent platforms from scratch. And that space, that new territory, that's exactly where they see their opening.
Okay, so having a huge vision is one thing, right? But how do you actually make it happen? How do you execute? That brings us to the how. And for Aurionpro, their entire strategy is built on 3 super clear guiding principles that shape every single decision they make.
And here they are: product superiority, customer success, and superior capital allocation. Seriously, think of this as the company's DNA, their core operating system. Everything they do, from R&D to buying another company, gets filtered through this framework. Let's break each one down real quick. So first up, product superiority. And what I find really interesting here is their philosophy. They're basically saying that in today's world, it's not just about who has the most money to throw at a problem. It's about having a crystal clear vision and then just executing on it relentlessly. That's what they believe creates a truly world-class product. Next up is customer success. And let's be honest, we've all heard the horror stories, right? Huge, expensive IT projects that just completely fail to deliver. It's like building half a bridge. So Aurionpro's whole approach here is this rock-solid promise to their customers: we will get you to the other side successfully. In an industry where trust is currency, this isn't just good customer service, it becomes a massive competitive weapon.
All right, so we've got the strategy, those 3 pillars, as our foundation. Now we can get to the really good stuff. The what. How does all this discipline and focus actually turn into real products that lead the market? And you'll see, they're not just playing in one small sandbox. Their platforms are in some of the most vital parts of our digital world. We're talking everything from banking and payments to the tech that keeps our city's transit systems moving, all the way to the data centers that are, the very backbone of the cloud itself. So, is all this talk about product superiority for real? Well, you don't have to take their word for it. Look at what the industry experts are saying. Chartis, an independent research firm, consistently puts them in the category leaders quadrant. That's that top right spot, exactly where you want to be. This is huge validation that they're not just keeping up with the best in the world. In many cases, they're actually leading the pack.
Hey, remember that 3rd pillar, superior capital allocation? Well, here it is in action. They made this really smart acquisition of a company called Aria.ai. This brought in some incredible firepower in what's called explainable AI, which is basically AI that can tell you why it made a certain decision in plain English. This move alone puts them right at the forefront of the whole fintech revolution.
And the scale of these opportunities is just huge. Take smart mobility, for example. We're talking about a global market worth over $11 billion, and Aurionpro is a serious player here, running massive projects like the Delhi and Chennai metros. They're building the invisible tech that millions and millions of commuters depend on every single day.
So, a great strategy, really cool products. That's all well and good. But here's the real question. Is it actually working? Is it showing up on the bottom line? Well, let's take a look at the numbers.
The first number you need to know, over a 30% revenue growth. And get this, not just for 1 year, but for 4 years in a row. That kind of consistent, high-level growth is incredibly hard to find, and it tells you they have some serious, sustainable momentum.
And that momentum, it's actually picking up speed. Just last year, they brought on 42 new clients. That's the most they have ever added in a single year. It's clear proof that the market is really buying into what they're selling.
Now this slide really puts it all into perspective. It took them almost 3 decades, 28 years to build their first 1,000 crores in revenue. And now their goal is to add the next 1,000 crores in just a handful of years. That is just a mind-blowing acceleration.
And what's holding all this growth together is a rock-solid financial foundation. You don't need to be a Wall Street analyst to see this. Just look at one number, the debt-to-equity ratio. It's 0.01. That's practically zero. What that means is the company is paying for all this crazy growth out of its own pocket, from its own earnings, not by piling on debt. That signals a really tough, resilient business.
So when you start to put all these pieces together, the vision, the strategy, the execution, the amazing results, you start to see a picture that's actually much bigger than just one company. It's about a potential new chapter for India's entire tech industry.
And really, this quote says it all. This is their ultimate mission. It's not just about building a successful company. It's about being part of this national aspiration to change the world's perception of India from being the back office to being the birthplace of the next great tech products.
So, what's the bottom line? You've got a team of over 3,000 people, a super disciplined strategy, and a very clear roadmap for the future. It's all come together to create this powerful engine for growth. Aurionpro isn't just trying to survive the AI revolution, they're actively positioning themselves to lead it.
Which kind of leaves us with one final really big question to think about. As companies like Aurionpro make this leap, from providing services to actually creating and owning world-class products, are we watching the very beginning of a new era for Indian technology on the global stage? It's definitely something worth thinking about.